will say this, Kathy Engelbert, she's been very focused on growing the business, and she's been doing a heck of a job at doing that. But I think at the same time, she sort of lost a little bit of the sentiment of the players.
Did you hear about DiJonai Carrington's attempt to silence Indiana Fever fans? It totally backfired. Caitlin Clark's immediate response on the court left everyone stunned. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's turned into a full-blown drama that's got the whole league talking. Let's talk about what Carrington actually said that got Indiana Fever fans so worked up. After that intense on-court exchange with Caitlin Clark, Carrington took to social media. She posted something that really struck a nerve with Fever fans and ignited a firestorm across the WNBA. Carrington's comments were seen as inflammatory, especially given the existing tensions in the league. She basically called out Fever fans, accusing them of being nasty and saying some pretty harsh things. Can you believe it? A player directly going after the fans like that?
It's going towards more of the harassment type, and it's more going into that realm of racism, misogyny, homophobia, and it's something that they feel like is crossing a line.
It's not something you see every day in professional sports. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. The reaction from Indiana fans was immediate and intense. They were not happy, to say the least. Social media exploded with angry responses, and suddenly this wasn't just about a game anymore. It became personal. Fans felt attacked, and they weren't about to let Carrington's words slide. But here's where it gets even crazier. This whole situation isn't happening in a vacuum. It's tied to some bigger issues in the WNBA. There's been growing discontent among players and fans about how the league is being run. Some people are even calling for Commissioner Kathy Engelbert to resign. Carrington's comments just added fuel to that fire.
And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals.
You'd think Carrington might try to smooth things over, right? Well, she did attempt to clarify her remarks, but it didn't exactly go as planned. She said, "This has nothing to do wise Caitlin. This has to do how nasty y'all fans are to call me ridiculous things for something that is literally just Emperor's hoopin'." But instead of calming things down, this attempt at explanation only made things worse. Fans weren't buying it. They saw her clarification as insufficient and insincere. It's like she poured more gasoline on an already raging fire. The rivalry between Carrington and Clark, which started on the court, has now exploded into something much bigger.
And what they really wanted her to say was just flat out that this racism, homophobia, misogyny that a lot of the players are experiencing is not okay. Well, Malika, there's no doubt about it. The players were disappointed in how Kathy Engelbert handled this moment.
It's not just about two players anymore. It's about the relationship between players and fans, and even the future direction of the WNBA. While fans and players are at each other's throats, let's not forget about the rookie caught in the crossfire. Caitlin Clark's baptism by fire in the WNBA has been intense, to say the least. How is she handling the heat? And could this controversy actually be shaping her into a stronger player? Clark's journey from college superstar to WNBA lightning rod hasn't been smooth sailing. The Indiana Fever's season started rough, going 1-8 out of the gate. Imagine the pressure on Clark's shoulders as the highly touted rookie on a struggling team. It's like being thrown into the deep end of the pool and expected to swim like Michael Phelps. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite the rocky start, Clark and the Fever have turned things around in a big way. They've gone 14-8 since that rough patch, putting themselves right in the playoff mix. That's a major turnaround, and Clark's been at the center of it all. Let's talk numbers for a second. Clark's averaging 18 points, 8.2 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game. That's not just good, that's Rookie of the Year territory. She's adapting to the pro game and showing why she was such a big deal coming out of college. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing. Clark's faced some tough criticism, especially about how she handles physical play. Some veterans, like DiJonai Carrington, have even called her out for flopping during games. Imagine being a rookie and having established players mocking you on the court. That's got to sting. And here's where things get even more complicated. Remember Carrington? Well, her girlfriend, Nalissa Smith, plays for the Fever alongside Clark. Talk about awkward team dinners, right? This rivalry isn't just about what happens on the court. It's personal. You'd think all this drama would get to Clark, but her response might surprise you. Instead of firing back or getting caught up in the social media storm, she's taken the high road. Clark expressed disappointment over how her name's being used in these divisive discussions. She's emphasizing the importance of respect among players, showing maturity beyond her years. Clark's taking the high road, but Carrington's not backing down. Their conflict is stirring up conversations that go way beyond the court. Race, respect, social responsibility, it's all coming to a head. Is the WNBA ready for this shakeup? This clash between Carrington and Clark isn't just about two players going at it. It's like a mirror showing us some big issues in the WNBA and society as a whole. We're talking race, respect, and the crazy pressure these young athletes face in the spotlight. Think about it. The WNBA is mostly Black players, with a lot of LGBTQ+ representation too. So when a rising star like Clark comes in, it's not just about her skills, it's about how she fits into this diverse league. Carrington's comments? They're not just trash talk. They're highlighting some real frustrations about racism and bigotry in sports. You know what's wild? Clark's been pretty quiet about all the social stuff tied to her fame, but Carrington's not having it. She's saying players need to use their platforms to speak up. It's like she's challenging Clark to step up and address these big issues. Now imagine being a rookie in this situation. You're trying to prove yourself on the court, and suddenly you're expected to be a voice for social change too. That's a lot of pressure, right? But it's also a chance for these young players to make a real difference. This whole situation is putting the WNBA in a tough spot. The league's all about inclusion and standing up for what's right. But now they've got players calling each other out and fans getting caught in the crossfire. It's messy, but it could lead to some real changes in how players interact with each other and with fans. Here's the thing, this drama could actually make the WNBA stronger. How? By forcing everyone to have those uncomfortable conversations about race, respect, and responsibility. It's like the league is growing up right before our eyes. So what's next? Maybe we'll see players becoming more outspoken about social issues. Or the league might come up with new ways to support players dealing with these pressures. One thing's for sure, the WNBA isn't just about basketball anymore. It's becoming a platform for some big conversations about society. Let's recap this wild Carrington-Clark drama. We've got a rookie sensation, a fiery veteran, and a whole lot of tension in the WNBA. It's not just about basketball anymore. It's about respect, social responsibility, and the future of the league. So what's next for these two? Clark's been killing it on the court, leading the Fever's playoff push. But Carrington's not backing down. Will their rivalry push them to new heights? Or will it cause more drama off the court? This isn't just about two players, it's about the whole WNBA. How will the league handle these big conversations about race and respect? Will we see more players speaking up? One thing's for sure, the WNBA is more exciting than ever. Keep your eyes on Clark, Carrington, and all the action coming up. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.